Namaste bachcho. Myself Om Prakash, Faculty of Department of Mathematics under Faculty of Education and Methodology. Today I taught you group theory. Namaste bachcho. Maisa kusura bachcho. In group theory, I will see today the introduction part of the group theory, how group theory will required in mathematics, which are taught in BSc BA 6th semester student PCMs. These are the lesson planning. Lesson planning is defined as the planning of the daily lesson related with a particular unit of a subject to be covered by the teacher in a specific class, school, or period for the realization of some stipulated instructional objectives. It is a sort of theoretical chalking out of the detail of the journey which a teacher is going to perform practically in the classroom along with his student. These are the steps for lesson planning. The first one is the preparation, second one is the presentation, third one is association, fourth one is generalization, and finally their application. These are the component of lesson planning. The first one is the identifying data, second one is the add material, next one is the instructional objectives, next one is the previous knowledge tested, and then introduction with acknowledgement of topic, and then present the topic. After that, recapitulations, and then finally home assignment. In this subject is belongs to the mathematics subject, and which are taught in BSc B8 6th semester group, and the top name of the topic is group theory, which we deal today. Before going to the introductory part of the group theory, first we know how this will exist. For this, for example, let us say in an ancient time when nothing will be happen, that means we can say that human doesn't know anything at that time, and they doesn't know the principle of counting or anything which are structured, or we can also say they doesn't know the civilized. In at that time they required one more things which are very important in our daily life, which are food. They need food. First of all, they have some populations and they required food, but at that time the forest will very large, and hence we can say that large amount of food will be available. But when slowly and gradually population increases, the requirement of food is also increases. Therefore we can say that when it reach at a time that in a particular region the food will be less than that of the requirement of the population of the people. At that time they required counting how many food will require. That means we can say apple, how many apple will require to eat. That was known as the fundamental counting, and this counting starts from 1 2 3 4 dot dot dot. This counting is known as natural numbers. This will happens as the natural number as a counting principle. After that, when sometime it will require that no food will be available, then how can we represent this in counting? Then the discovery of zero will be initiated. This discovery was initiated in ancient Indian literature, which are very easily available. The ancient Indian literature, When we add 0 in the natural number, we got the whole number. After getting the whole number, when we say something that when we give someone to some apples or take some apples, then it must be a notation to giving and taking some apples. It will be denoted as a negative numbers. It will be denoted as a negative number. That means when we use the counting starting from 1 2 3 4 dot 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 up to infinity, it will be natural number. After that we add 0 on natural number, and then we got in whole number. Natural number is denoted by capital N, whole number is denoted by capital W. After that, negative numbers also appears. Negative number appears, then we can say that negative integers. And when we combine all these things, negative numbers, positive numbers, and 0, then it will be say as integers. That means integers are classified in three parts: 0 integer, negative integer, and positive integer. And it will be denoted as capital I. Now, after that, we say that when we eat half apple and the remaining apple will be eaten by another person, then we can say that it will not be a number, it will be a fraction. Then from this purpose, fraction will be occur in our day-to-day life. When fraction will occur, then it is the way of writing a fraction, just like for example 2 1 by 2, 3 by 4, 8 by 3. It may be positive or negative depending upon the fraction. That means minus 8 by 3 etc. That means a fraction can be written as in the form of a by b, where b is not equal to 0, where b is not equal to 0, or we can say simply, for the sake of simplicity, b is always greater than 0. Then the collection of these numbers are called rational numbers. The collection of these numbers are called rational numbers. But when we divide this number to the given number, and we will see that the last digit of the term number is not known. The last digit of the number is not known. Then we can say that the number is non-terminating. If last digit of the number is known, just like for example 1 by 2, the fraction form of a decimal form of a fraction form of 1 by 2 is equals to 0.5. The last number is 5. That means we know the last number. Then this number is said to be terminating number. But when the last number is not known, then we can say that the number is non-terminating. For example, 1 by 3. 1 by 3 is equal to 0.33333. Then we doesn't say that the last number, which one is the last number, because it will repeat it infinite number of times. But when we see that the last number will repeated, then the number is said to be repeating. If the number, or we can say when set of number will be repeated, then the number is said to be repeating number also. But when the number or set of numbers doesn't repeat itself after decimal point, then the number is said to be non-repeating. Then we can say simply that the non-terminating, non-recurring numbers are irrational numbers. Except these, all are rational numbers. And the combination of these two are known as the set of real numbers. That means the set of rational and irrational numbers are called real numbers. That means real number is nothing but union of rational and irrational numbers. Rational and irrational numbers. After seeing all these things, we see that when we solve an equation of the type x square plus 1 equals to 0, then we got x square equals to minus 1, and then x equals to plus minus under root 1 minus 1 plus minus under root minus 1, which is not defined in our real number system, because the fraction of minus 1 is nothing defined in the real number system. These types of number can be denoted by i's, iota. We can say iota, and iota is equals to under root minus 1. Then we can say that iota I square equals to minus 1. All these discovery of these number, that means first of all natural number, and then whole number, and then negative integer. After that positive integer and negative integer and zero integer forms the set of integers. After integers we can find fractions. When fractions are the decimal form of the fractions are finite, that means the last digit of the fractions are known, then we can say that the number is terminating, otherwise non-terminating. Non-terminatings are of two types. uh, Non-terminatings are of two types. That means the last digit when the last digit is known, then it's terminating. When the last digit is not doesn't known, then it's non-terminating. After that, the number which are shown, that means then the number are repeated, then we can say that recurring numbers that are recurring numbers when the repetition is for for the sake of simplicity, repeating with the set of numbers, with the set of number, that it also known as recurring number. But they doesn't repeat any any numbers or the set of numbers, then it is called non-recurring. And finally we can say that non-terminating non-recurring numbers are irrational number. For example, root 2, root 3, pi, these are non-terminating non-recurring numbers and are known as irrational number. And the set of rational and irrational numbers are known as real number. But for the finding the solution of a general equation x square plus 1 equals to 0 types or many of the other types, but when we see x equals to under root minus 1 to finding the solution of any algebraic equations, then we say that these equations doesn't, the solution of these equations doesn't lie in the real line system. Therefore we can say that here we define iota I equals to under root minus 1. This is known as iota. After that we can construct the a number which are known as complex number, and it is denoted by a plus ib, or a plus ib, where a is the real part of the number and ib is the b is the imaginary part of the number, and I denotes the iota. After discovering all these numbers, we can see that the numbers are operated between two elements which are known as the binary operation or ternary operation, ternary operation, etc. Ternary operation, which are taught in your next class. This session was powered by the digital version 2.0 JAYOTI Vidyapeeth Women's University, and I hope all of you are satisfied with my digital session. If you have any queries, please mention in the comment box. I will try to resolve it. Thank you for watching this lecture video. Thank you.